Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's call. Karen and I wanted to share just some of our favorite natural health hacks with you guys to implement that you can use for your personal life, or you can implement this with clients or with people in your family. And we've had a lot of fun just putting together a list of some of our favorite things that are actually totally free.
I was gonna say that
Oh,
one.
sorry. Okay, you can go. Well, no, you said it already. Right. So the cat's out of the bag, guys. You're not going to have to pay.
You don't have to pay a
You're not
penny.
going to have to pay for these things. They came with your human body, actually. So that is
And Mother Nature.
that's a beautiful thing when you are born with a built-in pharmacy, born with a built-in nervous system regulator, born with a built-in mood regulator. It's incredible.
A
So
DNA production.
it
You have
is.
vitamin D production. I mean,
Yes.
it's all right there.
It is incredible. And so a lot of times in the natural health field, in our, quest to say we don't just need to rely on pharmaceuticals for everything. A lot of times people just end up turning to supplements or turning to another paid product, instead. And it's like, no, like
Yeah.
the essence of natural health is learning how to restore health in your body using as many free and accessible and natural solutions as possible. And of course, if there's going to be like a time and place for natural medicine or pharmaceutical interventions or whatever types of medicines to help stabilize your body, that's fine. But most people are not aware at all of the chemical making capability of their body and aware of the extent to which you can physiologically change your state by doing stuff that is just completely free and takes 10 minutes.
And I want to throw just an example out there. Many of you are taking vitamin Bs, right? Different B supplements, right? Do you know what happens in the villi of your small intestine? You have millions of villi per square inch at the very beginning of your villi, right? Of your small intestine. And in between these villi are all these little bacteria. And guess what they're doing? They're creating vitamin Bs, all your B vitamins, right? So like literally we go, oh, I have to go take all my B vitamins and blah, 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 blah. When literally your body creates them and is creating them because that's what the body was designed to do. When you eat food and when you have a microbiome that's working properly, we screw up the microbiome, we don't make vitamin B, then you need to supplement with vitamin B. But what if we go back and we increase the health of the microbiome? So now, boom, you don't need to be supplementing anymore with vitamin B. You can take all that money and put it towards your good organic food. So that's what we teach in holistic health educators, and that's what we're excited to share. And I woke up this morning, I'm like, Amy, let's do a free class tonight. Okay. I'm like, no, let's just tell people they can feel better tomorrow. We can share things and they will feel better tomorrow. They'll feel even better in a week, and they might feel fantastic in 3 weeks, and everything we share will be free. She's like, let's do it. So we got the whole crew out there advertising because we really want this information to be out there. So thank you for joining us. I've been doing this for decades. It's the best job in the world. You get your emails. We finally got pregnant after spending 40,000 on therapies that never worked. And they come and see us with a few herbs and a couple diet changes. Boom, they're pregnant. It's like this really happens in real life. You will be able to get energy and feel phenomenal. And we're excited to share this with you today.
Let's hear a hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful. So I can't let this woman talk about B vitamins and the microbiome without just reminding us all that this is one of the coolest new frontiers of health, is learning that, the good bacteria in your body, they're not just there to help break down food and move things along your digestive tract. They actually produce nutrients for you. They help produce oxytocin. I have to tell this story.
Oh, but make it quick. It's not even on my list.
Okay.
Are you going to invite them to the thing on November 18th also?
I will.
Okay. And then we got to get to the list.
Okay.
Okay.
This
Please
is the
I'm on
first
hold.
of tops 10 side tangents we're going to take today. But I was talking to the founder of Microbiome Labs. Who's heard of Microbiome Labs? They're a fabulous laboratory out of Denver, and they run a very extensive, good BiomeFX labs. But he said they've been studying the human microbiome all around the world for years, and they'll go to tribal populations and analyze their stool to see what microbes are in their stool. Mm-hmm. And he noticed that there were these populations that were huge into physical touch. They had, they were just very physical, and they were very happy. And he's like, oh, that's so interesting. And their stool had a strain of bacteria that almost all Western civilizations had no more of left in their microbiome. And a lot of civilizations where we're not very physical touchy anymore. We don't kiss people on the cheeks. We don't give long hugs. We don't just cuddle in a platonic way. And it was so interesting, the correlation. This strain of bacteria actually helps your body produce oxytocin, which is the neurotransmitter that is normally triggered when when you have physical connection with people, when you have physical touch and so forth. So it's very interesting because they're trying to bring some of those microbes back into the Western diet and back into just diets where our microbiome's been depleted, because it helps with all sorts of things, from your digestion to your mood to your,
if you can get pregnant or
chemical
not.
reactions.
You know how many people just can't get pregnant because the bacteria that needs to be in the uterine lining isn't there.
Yeah.
So the egg cannot attach and then fertilize. It's a bacteria that's missing. So you do a $500 test, you find out if you have the bacteria or not. You don't have the bacteria, which many women don't, and then boom, they can get pregnant without spending $30,000 on IV therapy. So IV therapy. So again, if you're interested in that, go ahead in the chat. We have a bunch of staff. There'll be people from our staff in the chat helping to answer questions. So if you're interested in learning more about the microbiome, we are doing a free 3-hour presentation on that in the next 5 weeks. So go ahead and just put your email in there, and one of our staff will grab that and we'll get that information to you. And likewise, in our chat, you're going to see a community call where you can register to get free calls like this on a regular basis. So if you're interested in learning more about how the body functions and get invited to some of our monthly community call lists, there will be a link put in there by one of our staff, and you can fill that out. Just ask for your email and your name. We won't harass you about anything. So, okay, now can we please start on the list? We're
we can
excited.
go
We
ahead
want to
and
get this baby done. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Bringing water. Okay. Wait, okay, there. I'm making my water. So let's start with You're going to start with.
I'll start.
Okay,
with
jump
nerves.
in there.
All right. So
I love nerves.
I'm going to share my screen. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is the bidirectional nature of our nerves. Okay, so your nervous system. So you guys you all have a central nervous system and a peripheral nervous system. Throw it in the chat. What does your central nervous system include? It includes your Karen. Telling me to move right along.
Yeah, move right along.
We're not doing pop quiz.
This is not an hour call. This is a boom, boom, boom call.
Your brain and your spinal column is what your central nervous system consists of, your brain spinal column. And then your peripheral nervous system is everything that comes out of that. So all the nerves that are shooting out of your spine and leading down to your fingertips and down to your toes and in your arms and legs and all that. That's all peripheral nerves. And within that, your central nervous system and your peripheral nervous system, you have two main types of nerves. You have afferent nerves, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you know how to spell this. Because I don't think you go around using the word afferent nerve every day.
Well, some people might.
Be very, very cool. So I'm going to pull this up. So you have afferent nerves here that send messages from the body up to the brain, and those are sensory nerves. And the way I remember afferent is picture like a bug crawling on your arm. You're like, you're like, oh, it's a bug. Or if someone scratches your back, like I'll demonstrate. There you go. Okay, scratching your back. Afferent nerve. Okay, it's very relaxing. It's collecting information and sending it up to your brain. Now, efferent nerves are your motor nerves, and that is when your brain is sending messages out to your body saying, hey guys, walk over there, or run away from here, or look over there. That's an efferent nerve signal, is sending messages from your brain out to your body, commanding your body to move. And some of that is conscious, and some of that is unconscious, which is called autonomic. But you have other nerves that do both. They both collect information and send messages out to your body. Those are called mixed nerves. Now, the reason why I bring this up, you guys, is because when you're trying to change the way you feel, you can do a top-down approach where you try to change your thoughts to change how your body's feeling. You try to change your cognition and change your mood by changing your beliefs and changing your thoughts. And that's where therapy can help. And that's where working through some of the mental stuff can help. But you could also change what your body is doing and the stimulation that your parasympathetic nervous system, your peripheral nervous system is getting. And that's going to change how you feel as well. And there's one example of this in particular I wanted to use. Let me show you where we're at. Can you guys see this slide here?
Human nervous system?
Human nervous system. Okay. So you can see how you have your parasympathetic nerves are telling your eyes and your lungs and your heart and your stomach and your colon and your liver. Your parasympathetic nerves are telling those organs to do one thing, and that is calm down and do rest and digest. And then you have your sympathetic nerves, which is your fight or flight response. And those nerves are telling your lungs and your eyes and your stomach and your colon and your gallbladder and everything to do something else. And that is send the blood to your limbs so you can get ready for battle. Okay. So you have these nerves that are sending your organs, glands, and
different
tissues
messages,
completely different messages
on if you're in parasympathetic or sympathetic state.
Yep. And so what I wanted to illustrate for you guys here is your lungs, you guys, it's incredible the nervous system innervation in between your lung cells. If you can imagine the lining of the inside of your lungs, which by the way, this is not a hollow cavity. You have about a half of a football field worth of contact surface between like your, capillaries and your alveoli and the air you're breathing. About a half of a football field worth of surface area in your lungs that are just like wrapped around in all these little alveoli things ready to exchange gases. And your nerves are like in between all of those cells. So what I'm getting at is just based on your breathing alone, and I know a lot of you guys have heard of breath work, but I'm trying to teach you some of the science behind it right now. Based on your breathing alone, you can actually control what part of your nervous system is you're in by changing your breathing, because the lungs are a perfect example of mixed nerves. You can tell your lungs to breathe fast or to breathe slow, and they'll obey you, but your lungs can also naturally have a response that ends up affecting your brain. It's bidirectional. So that's one of the first things is like going outside, going for a walk, and being intentional about your breath. You're getting so much nervous system stimulation compared to sitting inside on a couch staring at a smartphone. Like, look at how much nervous system stimulation I'm getting right now when I do this. Is my central nervous system or my peripheral nervous system stimulated when I'm doing this? It's central nervous system overload and peripheral nervous system underload. So if you had to ask me to define in like one sentence where a lot of our mental health issues are coming from in the 21st century, it's overstimulation of the central nervous system and understimulation of the peripheral nervous system.
Okay? And that's one thing that they can start with tomorrow.
Exactly. So that's one of the first things is just stimulate those nerves, whether it's touch, walking around outside, controlling your lungs and your breath, but just get some more of that bi-directional nervous system stimulation moving. And it's going to change how you feel. Your body cannot fight it.
And so breath work is one of the number one things we have on our list to share is be conscious of your breathing, right? And I know it's a big thing. So you see it all over social media. You can do box breathing. There's so many different ways you can do that. But breath work is one of those things. But one of the number one things I would love for you to do tomorrow. So if you're looking to feel better tomorrow in 24 hours, I have a list of things that will help you feel better, period. I taught a class called How to Live with Energy and Never Be Sick Again. I taught that to thousands and thousands of people because there is a way to have energy and never be sick again. What we're going to cover tonight is a short list of things you can do right now between now and tomorrow night to actually help you feel better. Now, my 3-year-old, anyhow, don't have those anymore. My 3-year-old granddaughter, who is staying with me for the next many days, she every morning she wakes up in the morning and she's all excited because grandma's here. We all wake up quite excited. We usually have energy. The cortisol is going through the roof, right? Especially if you have an alarm clock. Hopefully you don't have those, but if you do, you know what stimulates the body. One of the very best things you can do, and what I do with my granddaughter every morning when she wakes up, is we come outside. We go outside, we look at the sun, we say good morning to the sun, and we walk around our property, because calming the body down at the beginning of the day is one of the best things you can do. You can do your exercise. I mean, exercise is phenomenal in the morning, but just making sure that you're moving that body first thing in the morning by taking a walk, doing your exercise, jump in a sauna, whatever it might be, is actually an incredible way to get the body moving and grooving and to stimulate the systems to function. So when you wake up in the morning, see that sun, connect with the and I don't know how many of you realize, but our systems are actually very much in tune and tied with the where the sun is in the sky. So we are going to produce different hormones in the morning than we will in the afternoon than we do in the evening. because when the sunlight hits our retina, right, and it goes through the pineal gland, it stimulates when you're having certain hormones and when you're not. And the entire Chinese clock is designed over this. So there are, 2-hour windows throughout the 24-hour day that certain organs and glands and systems of the body are in full mode of cleansing or in production of hormones. And then there's an opposite section of 2 hours where there's really nothing happening. It's just healing itself and regenerating itself. And so just being in tune with the sun is really, really important to helping the body have a normal, healthy, day when it comes to energy levels and hormone production. So you want to grab one of these and talk about it? What do you want to add to that before we go on?
Yeah, I would love to. And I'm really happy you mentioned that, actually, because there's for those of you who are Dr. Huberman nerds, and
He's great.
He shares a lot of research about light exposure and how light exposure affects your sleep and your mood and your energy levels, and it's all based on these different aspects of light. Okay, the color of the light, the angle that it's hitting your eye, I'm going a little fast, but the color, the angle, the intensity of the light, like how bright is it? And of course, the time of day that you're being exposed to it. Okay. So it's a good thing to have bright, intense overhead lighting that has blue wavelengths in it
From
and
the
white
sun.
wavelengths in the middle of the day. Like that's a great way. And then, that's a great way to get energized. Now, the problem with that is like even leaving overhead lights on after dark when it's time to go to bed, because now we're sending this mixed message to our body, having this like bright overhead intense light coming into our retina at an angle that the sun at high noon normally does.
Oh, this is great. So right now, if you have overhead lighting, just go turn it off. Like we don't care if you're in the dark, but literally turn off the overhead lighting. You're going to see a difference.
We have overhead lighting on.
But
I know, right
but
here.
Go turn it
But
off.
no, stop.
The point is, she grew up in a home where we didn't have overhead lights.
Yes, we did lamps, and the nice thing about lamps is that is biologically compatible with like fires. Like it was at eye level or below. So that's
eye level or below. Yep.
that's one of the best things one of the biggest pieces of advice we give people for improving sleep is to just be very conscious of their lighting after dark, to decrease the intensity of it, give it warmer sunset colors if you can, oranges, reds, warm yellows. Stay away from anything in the blue light spectrum and bright white lights. Switch to more warm colored lamps at night, and try to keep it at eye level if you can. So that's one of the great things for sleep. We should, and just sleep itself. So if you're one of those who's like, I can work until 2 a.m. and I can get up at 5 and I can just keep going and going, that's nice. You aren't going to be able to do that for very long. So sleeping and having sleep cycles regulated is huge. I mean, I've written books on this. We've presented on this. We have it part of our program, but the sleep is very important. So trying to get to bed more at that 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock level, definitely before 11, because the best time for the body to heal and assimilate everything that is eaten throughout the day. So your body goes through 3 cycles: assimilation, which happens at sunset and only lasts until 3 or 4 in the morning, sometimes 5. But that 4 o'clock in the morning is usually a cutoff. So literally you are assimilating from sunset until 4 or 5 in the morning. And that is when the body is literally able to take everything you've eaten, the things you've drunk, your different supplements, and make sure it all gets to where it's supposed to go. So if we are up until 1 in the morning, assimilation isn't going to go past 5. And so now we only have 4 hours to assimilate. So when people can't heal from something, they're fighting a dis-ease, they just can't get well, they're fighting a common cold, whatever it might be, but they're staying up until midnight. Even if they're researching what to do for their cold, it's not going to help them because now they only have 4 hours to heal the body. Your body heals during assimilation, which is sunset, until 4 or 5 in the morning. So key factor, when we're done with this, go to bed. Like really, like don't be up researching Holistic Health Educators is amazing. Like just make sure we get your information taught to us tomorrow because we really want you to sleep so you can feel better. So just on that sleep thing, we give handouts on how to sleep better and things you can do to fix things in your home or just change things in your home and in your environment to sleep better. But just my big quest for you between now and tomorrow night is to really look at going to bed early tonight, as early as you can when we're done with the call, and then try to sleep, solidly as long as you can. And there are study after study after study, and I've got several of them in my book showing that the longer you sleep, so if a woman gets 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night,
her chance of losing weight is 60% higher than someone who's only getting 4 or 5 or 6 hours of sleep at night. Literally, one more hour of sleep a night will help you start to lose weight. Why? Because you're assimilating. And iodine helps you lose weight because iodine is needed by the thyroid to create the T4 into T3, right? That's needed. So I'm just saying that all these things that we aren't going to cover right now, but that are happening while you are sleeping during assimilation. So just put that as one of the things that you can reach for. And there's lots of questions that'll come in. What if I work third shift? We're not going to cover all that tonight. We're just going to kind of get through this list because you can feel better tomorrow by doing some simple things we're going to talk about right now.
Yeah, I'm like at a really hard crossroads right now because I have to pick what I'm going to do for my practicum before I graduate with my master's and
From Johns Hopkins.
yeah. But one of the biggest projects I want to do is implement a holistic sleeping protocol and an addiction recovery program because the role sleep plays in your neurotransmitters is baffling. And it's like, what percent is it? It's like, I can't remember. It's so high.
So it's high.
At least 75% of people with an opioid addiction also have a sleeping disorder. And you have to ask yourself, it's always like, well, came first the chicken and the egg. And it's like, they fuel each other. But I'm telling you, the more like people's sleep gets compromised, the harder it's going to be to balance any level of neurotransmitter imbalance because of how much assimilation happens while you sleep in your endocrine system, in your nervous system, in your liver. Like with all of your organs, you guys have probably heard this before, but your body is so active while you sleep. Your brain, it's crazy what happens like while you think you're resting.
And for those of you who wake up, you're like, but I wake up like 4 times. That's okay. Your sleep cycle is roughly 90 minutes long. So if you wake up every 90 minutes and flip over or check the time, it's okay. Go back to bed. Like, it's okay. Like, it's just, don't worry. Let's just get some sleep. And sleeping more during assimilation is great. That would be a really great study to do, by the way.
I know.
Okay, we got to jump to the next one here.
Like 7 options.
Okay, so I'm going to jump into food because I'm a foodie, right? So I have spoken in front of tens of thousands of people. I have thousands of clients from all over the world. This is what I've done. It's been amazing. And I will tell you, your food matters. What you put in your body will keep you awake and keep you stimulated and give you anxiety and excite your brain and excite your body, or it will relax you and help you have the most fantastic day ever. When my son was driving one night, he was driving across the country, needed to stay up really late. He's like, Mom, I got some energy drinks. I'm like, oh my gosh, Eric, don't touch those. I said, you know what? If you just go and get beet juice from a juicery, you are going to have more energy than you know what to do with. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, and then he was actually at my home heading across the country. So I made him a bunch of beet juice and I made beet and carrot and I made beet juice. I said, you just do this instead of any of those energy drinks. You take my word for it. And he got in that car and drove. The next day, he's like, Mom, he goes, I not only had energy and stayed completely awake, I feel fantastic. Absolutely. Because if you look at the plant kingdom and whole food, which is why I am a whole food fanatic, right? I'm not into isolates at all. If you're taking a beet and you're juicing it, you not only have the sugars, you have the nutrients to keep the body very attuned and very alert. So it's not a sugar rush that you're getting like you do when you take an energy drink or a Mountain Dew. You're actually getting the fiber to sustain that energy, right? And you're getting the nutrients, all the vitamins that are in there that are going to help repair whatever might have been, I want to make this easy, but when you stay awake past that during that assimilation stage, that requires a lot of energy. So if you're staying awake during assimilation, you are using up your reservoir of vitamins and minerals and energy, just because you're not only staying awake and you're being stimulated by some movie or eating pizza or popcorn and falling in love with some guy or girl, right? You are also still needing to repair because the body can only repair during that time, but you're taking this net response because you're using so much up. But eating or drinking and eating beets throughout the day or anything high in vitamins and minerals, you're going to be replenishing that. So it's not only, yes, you can stay awake and have great, vibrant energy, but you also are replenishing the reserves that you've suffered because you were staying up all night driving. I hope that can make sense to you. So I'm going to throw a couple food items out there that if you go and purchase some of these tomorrow morning when you wake up because you're going to go to bed tonight, anyhow, you're going to feel a difference. And so beets are one of them. You don't want to make beet juice? Fine, go buy some. Get some beet juice with carrots and apples in it. Whatever you can do, but start consuming some of these beets. You can get beet powder. I have a whole bunch of beet powder I use it in my green drinks and in my powders that we make and soon to sell. Anyhow, so that beet is very helpful. Spirulina, one of the top things you can do, not only to nourish the body because it has all of the essential amino acids, but it is phenomenal at helping the cell become very strong, and it is so alkalizing to the body. So spirulina powder or spirulina tablets are a phenomenal source of energy for the body and nutrients. So again, amino acids are huge. We talk about them a lot at Holistic Health Educators. All of our students become extremely, versatile in speaking about amino acids because they are the building blocks of the entire body, and all of the essential ones, which are the ones your body doesn't make, those are all found in spirulina. They're also found in bee pollen. Bee pollen is another one of those phenomenal products. I take about a teaspoon a day, have it in my fridge. That is another phenomenal product you can bring in. Now, I know we said that these things are free because I'm like, if you're going to go shopping, these are some foods you can pick up, right? So you can pick up some different forms, of seed vegetation. You can pick up some beets. The darker the vegetables, the better. So even if you were going to go out tomorrow and get some kale or some spinach or some apples or whatever you're taking and get the darker version, the red peppers that you're going to munch on throughout the day. This is my daughter. Amy would go ahead and take literally red peppers and long cucumbers to high school with her and eat them throughout the day. Like she literally did this. I'm not kidding you because these are where your nutrients are. So if you,
just so everyone's aware, like this ridiculous vegetable packing habit of mine was more large vegetable. More largely a function of not making enough time to like properly make myself a lunch in the morning.
It's the fast food version.
It's the fast food. I was
the fast food version.
30 seconds for that thing. I'd open up the fridge. I'd be like, bell pepper, got it. Grapefruit, got it. 2 carrot sticks, got it. And like pack some
cucumber, off she went.
And whatever else we had lying around there and on the way. So this is.
So parents, you can do that, right? So I raised a lot of children and fast food was our dig, but my fast food was in the fridge or on the counter. So it was bowls of apples and oranges and all sorts of produce, and that was already prepped and ready in the fridge so they could do just that. But if you want energy, you need to eat it. Now, here's the big kicker. Energy, actual energy, comes from the sun. The sun is what gives biophotons and puts biophotons into every living fruit and vegetable, nut, and seed on the planet. If you want energy, you need to eat it. And please don't get an energy drink. You do not need them. A biophoton is what you are looking for to have a ton of energy in the body. So grabbing a green pepper, not green, don't do those, a red pepper, grabbing cucumbers, grabbing apples, grabbing oranges, are literally getting that's a way to get biophotons into the cell of your body. We aren't even covering cells right now. And you're welcome to drop your email in the chat, sign up for the community call links. Amy and I have an entire cell talk series, which is phenomenal and it's free. We've given it away because we want you all to understand how the human cell functions. And it's super fun. It's us. And we love talking a lot. And we love talking about the cell and we love science. So if you want energy, bringing in fresh fruits and vegetables that are not cooked, that is the way you're going to get instant energy tomorrow. So living and breathing foods that were full of biophotons from the sun, that's a great way to bring in some energy. And I did want to talk about excitotoxins at some point.
So right before excitotoxins, I'm going to make one last note on the fruit and vegetable little tower you're on right now.
The drive? Okay, go for it, girl.
So a lot of us have like heard the buzzword antioxidant a lot. You guys hear about that, like antioxidant rich foods, like gotta eat your antioxidants, right? So I just want to emphasize or just connect a dot for you guys really quick that with the level of bombardment on our bodies from free radical damage right now, from things that we actually can't control a lot of, like a lot of us are in areas you can't control the air quality. Like unless you're in a position where you can move or like get a really good air purifier. But you can't always control the EMF exposure you have. You can't always control what like your mother-in-law makes when you go for dinner. Like you just gotta eat it. Take one for the team, guys. Take it for the team, eat the meal. No, I'm just kidding. Unless you have an autoimmune disease, then you need to take it more seriously. But you're going to have levels of free radical exposure that you just can't control. Now, how do you combat that in today's society so that we're not just like all freaking out about the bombardments on our health? The literal combat to free radical damage is an antioxidant. And here's exactly how it works. So free radicals, that is a word to describe the same. That's another word to describe oxidative stress, which is the scenario where in your body, you get this chain reaction where something's low in electrons and it starts to steal electrons from the molecule next to it. And that molecule turns over and starts to steal electrons from the molecule next to that one. And then that molecule turns over and starts to steal electrons from the molecule next to that one. And then you trigger this chain reaction where you're just in like a low electron state. And in order to try to balance itself, these molecules just keep stealing from each other. And what that ends up doing is it ends up weakening the tissue, and it ends up weakening the cell membrane. In fact, if you look at EMF exposure under a microscope, like what happens, the cell membrane, it looks like they melt. Like that cell membrane just gets weak because of the oxidative stress. Okay. So the combat to that is introducing antioxidants, which are electron donors.
Giving.
That's what an antioxidant is. It comes in and it just is like, here, take the antioxidants. I don't need them. For anyone who's listening to me.
And the free radicals are grabbing them all up so they can balance themselves.
Yes.
So and if the more antioxidants you have, the less tearing apart of tissue you have in the body. And the number one cause of all disease on the planet, 100%, is oxidative stress.
Yeah.
100%. I don't care what disease you're dealing with. One of them, the one common denominator is oxidative stress. So just imagine if you flood the body with antioxidant-rich foods, which come from all your living fruits and vegetables and other and your glutathione production, blah, blah. But like, wow. Sorry, I got excited.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. So that's why I just want to connect that dot for you guys, is that like there is hope on the other side of free radical damage that we're all being exposed to. And it is giving ourselves enough of the antioxidants that
yourselves. I like it. You threw the cell in there.
Thank you.
You're really cool. You're really cool.
But last note on this, just to hit it home, for any of you who have looked at sun exposure, when you're eating high antioxidant rich diet, and then people will supplement with a really powerful antioxidant called astaxanthin, which is found in marine supplementation. You're less likely to burn in the sun. And why is that? Like, how is it you can take a supplement and you're less likely to burn in the sun? It's because burning is the result of free radical damage. And you can combat that by supplementing with antioxidants. So I'm not saying don't protect yourself in the sun. You should still be smart about your sun exposure. And I'm not referring to wearing sunscreen. I'm talking about being responsible with like titrating up your sun exposure so that your body can manage it. But antioxidant-rich diets is like a huge way to prevent sunburn.
Excellent.
So just because it prevents free radical damage.
I'm not paying a ton of attention to chat section, but I will say please don't direct message Amy or I, even though you'll see us both on the call, because we won't be able to get that. And so if you're looking to get added to a program, please just reach out to one of the staff members. If one of the staff members is on here, if you can say, hey, reach out to me direct if you want. If you don't want to put your information there publicly, totally fine. Ann Boyd is on here. You can reach out to Ann. You can reach out to Denise and just give them your information there as well. But anyhow, just so you know.
And if anyone wants to look up how to spell astaxanthin for me, and put that in the chat, that is not coming off the tip of my tongue. Okay, so I love it. You're gonna have to tip me for that one.
I love it.
Astaxanthin. So
yes,
it's a good one.
And it is raw vegetable. So if you're looking for the highest antioxidant level, and if you're looking for biophotons, you will only get biophotons in a living raw fruit or vegetable. You will not get biophotons in anything cooked or steamed. So that's just to be aware of that, because that does eliminate, it goes right out of the produce when it is steamed or cooked in any way. So
yeah, we're not like saying there's not a good time to have like your wonderful soup and cooked meals. Like we do that. We totally do that. But we do make sure we get our raw foods in as well in order to get those those enzymes and the antioxidants.
Okay, I'm going to throw in here. We got to run into iodine here real quick. Okay. So iodine. So a couple things here while we're wrapping up. We want to talk about iodine because if you're looking for energy and to feel better, most people on the planet, many, many, many people, if not, up to 75% are iodine deficient. And I'm going to just talk about this for a brief, 1 or 2 minutes. Iodine is found in seed vegetation. That's the easiest place to get it. You can get it from organic strawberries and a few other places, but the amount of iodine you need to regulate the body isn't going to be something you can eat strawberries to get. you are going to need to up the ante on the iodine until you actually have enough coming into the system. My favorite form of iodine, if you're not eating sea vegetation, is nascent. Nascent. Nascent iodine would be great, Sarah. If you can throw that in there for everybody, that would be wonderful in the chat section. So nascent iodine, and you can take nascent iodine a couple drops a day, up to 9 or 10 drops a day, and that will be phenomenal. But here's why you want iodine. Many people are dealing with hypothyroidism and they don't even know it. They're starting to gain weight. They're lacking energy. They have brain fog. They're just kind of like, oh, it's just hard to wake up in the morning. Your thyroid makes T4. The T and the 4 is a hormone, T4, that is made by the thyroid. So the hormone from the thyroid is T4. T stands for tyrosine. 4 stands for 4 molecules of iodine. Well, most people don't make T4 or enough of it. Now, T4 doesn't really do anything except it goes to the liver and it's converted to T3, tyrosine, and 3 molecules of iodine. That conversion from 4 molecules of iodine to 3 iodine molecules is what gives the body incredible energy, because T3 is what goes out as a hormone in cholesterol throughout the rest of the body, and it triggers ATP production in the cell, which means, boom, you have energy. If you want better metabolism so you can lose weight, you probably need T4. You need to make sure you have enough tyrosine, and you need to make sure you have enough iodine. So T4 converts into T3 in the liver. People who have hypothyroidism, they just put them on a medication for the rest of their life. Most people don't need that. As a matter of fact, 100% of the people I've worked with hypothyroidism, have been off their medication in 8 months or less, because they start eating iodine-rich foods or taking a supplement of iodine, which is what their body needs in the first place. And then their body can make the T4 that is naturally supposed to be made. It's made in my body, it's made in Amy's body, it's made in Sarah's body, it's made in Rachel's body. It's made naturally in our bodies because our diet is plentiful when it comes to minerals and vitamins. If you hear me speak at all, I am going to talk about minerals and vitamins, because for me, I'm a whole foodist. So that is where you get your energy, because minerals are the sparks of life. Iodine has a spark in the body. Calcium sparks the body. Magnesium sparks the body. Boron sparks the body. They all spark something different. Some relax, some constrict, right? All of these sparks are what keep you alive. And when you are missing elements from the periodic table of elements, you are missing life. Now, don't go eating all of them because you'll explode. Don't go lick uranium. But anyhow, I'm just saying, like, that'd be really wrong. But you definitely
don't lick uranium. That's related valuable and vital educators tonight, okay?
But you get it. And so it's just so cool, because we were literally designed to eat vegetation out of a garden. Oh, wow. Who would have known? And so, like, there's a reason, because your vegetation out of the garden is loaded with your amino acids. Like, all the amino acids on the planet come from plants. You can eat a dead animal to get them, or you can just eat the plants, right? You can get all your minerals and vitamins from there. You can get all your biophotons, so all your antioxidants. Glutathione is going to get produced in the body if you just eat vegetation. So, like, wake up tomorrow morning and go eat things that are alive. Like, don't eat your, potatoes and your and your eggs and I don't care if you eat that stuff, but don't come back to me then tomorrow night and go, I didn't have more energy. You want more energy? Please, please, please go get a green drink, get some juices, make one in your home, because you are going to feel that.
We do love eggs, just for the record.
Well, I mean, you can eat them. I don't.
Saying there's a distinct difference between just living off of a cooked food diet.
Yes,
food that has
and that's what we're saying. So really, between now and tomorrow night, bring in a lot more raw living food, and your biophotons, your minerals, your vitamins, all those sparks are going to become available.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So iodine. I got the iodine thing across, I think, very well in just a couple minutes.
It was great. So a couple of things. So
we're at 9:13 right now, so we only have like 10 more minutes. That's max.
So real quick, just to clear up a couple questions here. So the T4, someone asked, what is the T4 supplement name? So T4 is not a supplement. It's made by your thyroid. And so when you're is it your pituitary or hypothalamus that secretes thyroid stimulating hormone?
The hypothalamus tells the pituitary, and the pituitary is the one who tells all the endocrine system how to function.
So they're all involved.
They're all involved. The hypothalamus is can control everything, but the pituitary is the one who secretes all the hormones.
Okay, so the pituitary secretes TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, which then goes and tells your thyroid, hey guys, we need more thyroid hormone in circulation. So then your thyroid makes T4 and it makes some T3, but that T4 then is what goes to the liver and gets converted into T3.
It's so cool. It is so
It's cool.
cool.
But that
It's
T4
so cool.
is made out of tyrosine, which is just an amino acid. If you eat a diverse diet and you have enough enzymes in your diet so that you're actually breaking down your protein, enzymes and high stomach acid is what you need to successfully break down protein. If you have like a diverse diet and you're breaking down your protein, you're going to have enough tyrosine. So like you can like try supplementing with tyrosine. You're just getting a lot of a certain amino acid if you like want to make sure that's not the missing link. But for a lot of people, it's actually that they're either deficient in iodine or the last thing I want to mention on it, heavy metals are one of those things that can block that. It's called a displacer. So heavy metals can come in and displace that like the T4, the iodine from being able to bond to the tyrosine. So there's people who have like been doing the things, they're taking the iodine, they're working on their thyroid, and they're not feeling a difference. And that's when I would look into heavy metal toxicity. That's when I would get,
which is a different topic.
That's what we're not talking about that tonight. But that I'm just saying, if someone's like really trying to work on their thyroid and supporting their thyroid and they're taking herbs for their thyroid and for their liver, don't just focus on your thyroid. You have to focus on your liver. Realize this is just as much a liver issue as it is a thyroid issue.
It's a conversion because it converts it.
But if you're like doing all the things to fix this thyroid hormone and nothing's working, it's time to look at heavy metal toxicity.
So moving along, one thing we wanted to do when we did the advertisement today, which I'm glad all of you saw it, and I'm really glad you were here. I thought it was really cute. I thought they did a wonderful job putting that together. Is we also wanted, well, I did. I thought
it was good.
I love it. Like a ticket. You could pull off the ticket.
Right.
I wanted to pull the ticket off, but I couldn't because it was a picture. Maybe I should print it, then I could cut it off. But anyhow, so one thing we wanted to let you know is like, this is not hard to learn. I mean, it is. It's like, it's taken us a lot of years full as together. I've been doing this for decades, but to teach it, this is what we do. And if you want to help other people learn this, we have programs. That's what we do. And so if you are interested, please let people know in the chat. We have got an incredible group of people. Our team is amazing and we're all over the world. Our students are all over the world. Our sales team is from all over the world. And they're not salesy. I don't like to use that word, but the people who help you find like the fit, this is what we do for a living. We're the best certification out there. You're going to love it. You're going to love the people that are in this program because you become part of a family. So if you actually want to learn to talk like us, maybe not as fast, but definitely as cool, and you want to learn how to do all of this, this is what we do for a living. We educate. We are holistic health educators, and we would love for you to join our programs. We would love to become part of what we're doing. So if you're interested in that, just put your name out there because we are going to help you. That's what we want to do because our goal right now is to get as many people taking this information into their communities and their families and to their loved ones as humanly possible because we do not know what they're going to do the next year or the next month to the people who live in this world. And we know that there's never been a better time and more active time that people have become aware that they are in control of their bodies than right now. And you are in control of your bodies. We can sit here for the next 3 hours and give you a ton of free information on what you can do to change your life at home. And you will listen because you will want to feel better tomorrow, and you can. I'm 56 years old. I have phenomenal skin, an incredible amount of energy. I feel great, look great. I'm strong. I'm active. I can get up and down and play with my grandkids and throw them on my shoulders and take them for walks. Like, this is what I do because I have been doing this for 30 years or longer. So like what we do actually works. And we would love for you to learn more about this on a personal level so you can strengthen your own life and become more vibrant and healthy. But mainly, I'm telling you, not mainly, but also we need you. The world needs to hear this. And every one of you can be teaching and helping other people. And yes, you can make money at that. We've got all sorts of ads promoting that, but we just want you to know that we're here to help you to get on if that's what you're looking to do.
Yeah, I just want to mention real quick, when we were picking out the name of our school, the reason why we chose Holistic Health Educators instead of Holistic Health Education is because our real goal and task is to just create a legion of educators. Whether you end up calling yourself a health coach, or call yourself a mom, or call yourself a nurse practitioner or a doctor, or call yourself a holistic health practitioner, like whatever you end up calling yourself, we just want you like teaching people. And we're going to come back to like question and answer because I know some of you like probably got halfway through taking a note on a sentence and then we moved on to something else. So We're going to come back to that.
After we're done recording.
But I do want to mention that for any of you who are in this profession, please do not underestimate how much your clients will value the education you provide. Taking that time to teach them some of this stuff and just instead of just telling them what to do. That's one of the biggest things I've noticed between sitting in and taking notes on Karen's.
You got that, right, Shannon? She knows it.
Between taking notes on, when Karen's meeting with her clients and I'm being a scribe for them, which is totally impossible. So just record it and put it in an AI note taker to transcribe it for you so you don't get carpal tunnel in the process. But anyway, she provides a lot of client education because people have just never heard, they've never heard. She's talking about candida because they're yeah, I have this rash on my arm and my doctors gave me this cream. And she's this is not a rash. She's you have candida. She's come spit in a cup. And she'll make me spit in a cup and their saliva's all stringy. She's that's candida, She's we gotta cleanse your body out of candida. And then she'll walk them through how to do a candida cleanse and send them home on a candida diet and be and just empower them with understanding how you can balance that in your body naturally. So for those of you who do work in this field, does anyone who here works with clients or patients right now?
Good.
Is anyone work? Okay. So we got some people. Okay, cool.
I do.
Yeah. Awesome, Jade. So ideally, you guys are in a job setting where you're able to take that time to do client education. Not everyone is in a job position where you can do that. But if you have the ability to do that, you're never going to regret that, taking that time with them.
Yeah. It's the best job in the world. Very best job in the world is to do what we're doing. So that's the second part. So we can, like I said, we are happy to share with you what you can do to feel better tomorrow. But we really also are looking for the people who can, who want to be part of helping other people get closer and closer to greater health, because it's very possible. Don't listen to anything that's out there, all the naysayers that are trying to sell you a product and, oh my gosh, and doomsday talk about all of the things going on. I don't care what's happening around you. It's what's happening inside of you that is going to give you the strength to get through what's going around you. So when you strengthen the inside, everything around you gets stronger. And when you get weaker on the inside, then everything gets weaker and it seems more intimidating. So anyhow, just wanted to throw that out there.
Love that. So that said, before we jump into the second part, just for those about, the income generating possibilities in this field, I do want to know, does anyone have any notes that were halfway scribbled down before we moved on to the next subject? Because we've covered quite a few things today between antioxidants.
We didn't exactly talk about excitotoxins. So while you guys are gathering those notes you want to talk about, I just want to mention real quick, an excitotoxin excites the body. It excites the nervous system, and it actually makes you addicted. So they use excitotoxins in foods because they want you to buy them again. They want you to keep eating them. The issue with excitotoxins, and I'm only going to mention this briefly, there's books and books, and we can talk about this for hours. The thing with excitotoxins is while you are eating them, no matter what you are doing, it's going to get excited. So if you are depressed and you're eating foods full of excitotoxins, you are going to get more depressed. If you have anxiety and you're eating foods with excitotoxins, it is exciting the nervous system related to what you are doing while you are eating them. This is very important because many of you are eating excitotoxins and have no idea, because MSG has over 40 different names now, and it's in practically everything that's boxed, canned, or jarred from a grocery store. An excitotoxin excites the brain and stimulates the receptor. So what you are doing, looking at pornography, being mad at your kids, whatever it might be, it is going to make it worse, and it's going to become addictive for your nervous system. So please just consider looking at the food you're eating and trying to eliminate as many foods. And you can go online and look at excitotoxins, and boom, you're able to get rid of that. I'm speaking on that this weekend. I'm the opening speaker at a big convention. And if any of you are interested in a 2-day convention, I just was able, Holistic Health Educators is going to actually sponsor your ticket, part of your ticket, so you can attend, because we're so excited to get people involved in that. Please email me directly for that so I can put together, actually email Carrie, Carrie, Carrie at holistichealtheducators.com. So Carrie, Carrie at holistichealtheducators.com. Let them know you're interested. It is an all-day Friday, all-day Saturday event. Amy has been asked to MC it. It is available online and in person, and it is amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
This is
I
the
can get them a,
this is the Association of Natural Health Annual Convention.
Yeah.
Here in Georgia. So if
And
anyone
it's
was curious.
international. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny's going to be speaking. There's a bunch of wonderful doctors that you will love hearing from. I'm speaking, during the opening, but it's going to be phenomenal. So if you do have some time Friday and Saturday, you want to get in, you can even, you'll get a copy of all of it so you can listen to it, even if you can't attend in person, but you can come. So just email Carrie at holistichealtheducators.com because we are going to, Holistic Health Educators is going to sponsor part of your ticket so you can attend because it's just a phenomenal education. But excitotoxins are very important. So something I did want to throw in there before we close up.
I'm sure you guys have had that experience where you like eat something and
Yeah,
it's
that Dorito and Lay's, that's why you can't only eat one of them. Like that's their slogan is telling you exactly what they've added to the food. Lay's potato chips, you can't eat just one. This is true. there's you can't just eat one.
you lace that with
Toxicants. You did. But anyhow, okay. So now we can go on to part 2 of you. Oh, questions.
Yes. So who has something that's halfway written down?
If you have anything, just put it out there. And the event is this Friday and this Saturday. Okay. Let's move on then.
All right. If there's no one,
I have a question.
You bet.
So when do you utilize Irish sea moss?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Irish sea moss is super fun. I love it. I love putting it in the shakes. It's wonderful. So
we don't like have it in our fridge right now, Shannon. So I wish I did. I wish I had
That's
Irish sea
dried.
moss in my.
You can get them in capsules too, but yeah, making your own is going to be great. Do you have a one that you like the best to make your own then?
I have the one that I have. We sold it in our grocery stores. And so I just still had a huge amount of it. So I'm down to this much in a quart jar. So we are going to be opening up our entire supplement line. We're actually working on that right now behind the scenes. And so we'll be carrying a lot of wonderful products. And you want to get involved in that, let me know. So we're very excited about what's coming out.
Yeah. Shannon, do you have a favorite brand?
No, not really. I mean, can't think of the name of it off the top of my head.
That's okay. Yeah.
I got my hand in so many things right now, but I just was good. Yeah, I just was trying to help other people more than anything. But I know when we were talking about thyroid health and stuff that I threw it in the chat. But
Good.
it's a great thing to bring some of that without bringing the crustaceans in and things. So if you want to be a little more vegan, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just utilizing that. I'm in the regenerative health community. So, entangling is always.
Yes.
Love that. Yeah. And a lot of time, you guys are going to hear a lot more people talking about adrenal fatigue these days, which is when your adrenals have gotten shot. And just keep in mind, sometimes it really is adrenal fatigue, but other times, like the thyroid actually has a lot more to do with people's fatigue than even the adrenals. So you just got to keep both of those endocrine glands at the top of your mind if someone's dealing with chronic fatigue. I mean, actually, we have a whole fatigue checklist that involves a lot of things. But
okay, we got to stop recording here.
Those
an hour.
Those are two endocrine glands that you're going to want to nurture as best as possible. Both of them.
Okie dokie. So your takeaways: better sleep, longer sleep, and please sleep during assimilation. Iodine, make sure you have enough iodine in the body so you can create T4 because you need it. And niacin, iodine, phenomenal. And sea vegetation. Thank you, Shannon, for the shout out on Irish sea moss. Beets are phenomenal. They're just great. I don't care if you do beet powder because you don't want to cook a beet, or you get them frozen and you put them in something, or put them in your, I don't care. Just get beets in the body. They're amazing. Spirulina, love it, love it, love it every day. Avoid excitotoxins. They're all around you. Get out in the sun, do some exercising and breathing, and of course, grounding, which we didn't even touch on, but that is a great way to get rid of oxidative stress as well. It's the number one way to get rid of inflammation and oxidative stress. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to, again, make mention that in the chat section, we've got a lot of people that represent our company here. If you're looking to participate and earn some income doing this, this is what we do, and we can definitely help you. If you've seen the ads that are circulating right now, we've done a lot of them. They're all over. But I was a single mom. And as a mom, I was making 6 figures doing what I'm doing right now. Not only not off of, that sounds terrible. Not only because I was helping clients, but because I created programs that my clients could take. And so I could sleep and wake up and there were people taking my programs. And that's what you can do. And that's what we help you do. We actually have many, 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 many students all over the world doing the exact same thing. It was so fun today because I follow a lot of my students on Facebook, which I don't use Facebook, but I have started using Facebook again. And as I follow a bunch of my students, and all of them are like posting all these success stories from all their clients. I'm like sitting there going, like, tears in my eyes, going, "There's so many people. Oh, there's Chris, and there's Edward, and then there's Tara, and there's," it's just so cool. Because we've been able to watch these people that I've known for, decade and a half, 2 decades, grow their business, and they're leaders in their field, and they're all over Facebook and social media. And I'm just like so proud of them because they're doing exactly what they wanted to do when they came to us. And some of them had nothing when they started, and some of them now are, many of them are doing phenomenal. So again, this is what we do, and we are excited to teach you about that. So do we want to stop recording and then answer some questions? What do you want to do?
Yes. So
Yes.
we will conclude our official instruction hour, even though I
Amazing.
had 5 more slides. So if you guys stay over time, you're going to get the bonus slides.
Okay, bonus slides.
But
we're just going to stop recording
you're gonna stop
because
recording.
it's not long. And I was like half an hour. That's what I want to do. I remember I
How
told
long
you
to do it?
maximum 40 minutes.
Sure.
Now we're at 60 minutes again because we all pack so darn much.
I know. It's true. It's
Ah.
true. But I hope you guys know how much we love you and how much
We do. We love you.
and how much we believe that the power hierarchy of our healthcare system will flip
Yes.
on its head over the next decade by people becoming empowered. And that's not to say we shouldn't respect people in medicine. We absolutely should. But there is information
not all.
that the people in the population deserve to know about how their human body works.
What?
They deserve to know it.
You
And someone's got to
this.
teach them. And
Darn
I'm
it.
telling you,
It's going to be us.
and the people
you.
doing the teaching can't be like professors with PhDs that don't know how to talk to people in normal words. Those should not be the community educators. It should not be people who have been in science for 15 years and don't even know how to simplify this stuff.
No, and then they go eat a
terminology.
pizza out of a microwave, and you're like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
It's one thing to know it up here; it's another
Yeah.
thing to live it. This is what we live. This is what we breathe. So we know it works.
Yeah.
We know
and,
it works.
And the best person to deliver this information to your families and your communities and your clients is
It's
going to
you.
be you. It's going to be you in your words, in your experience, in your heart,
I love
in
this.
your care. Yeah.
Okay,
all
so
right.
we're going to stop recording, but you guys are welcome to stay on.
Yes, actually.
And I love it. Someone left and they're like, "I'm going to go get my sleep during assimilation." Yes,